Semi-annual check-in with the czar of ComicCon. I told the programming director you were the czar. He didn't argue with me. So there you go.
He used to be my assistant, so he's still a good friend. So I'm lucky.
Hey, so first of all, I want to talk about one of the most moving experiences I've ever been privileged to witness at ComicCon. That was the presentation of Joss Whedon with the Icon Award. Talk about that, because he got a standing ovation. I mean, he cried. I was crying. It was, you know.
What's really remarkable is being able to work for an organization that celebrates not only film, television, comic books, toys, games, and all that, but the people who are involved in that. And Joss, really embodies a lot of what ComicCon is. He's a producer, he's a director, he's a writer, he's an actor, he's a comic book creator. And to be able to highlight that, to be able to present him with an award that recognized that on behalf of all the people who come to Comic-Con was certainly fitting, and we were very touched that he was touched by it.
Yeah, and the audience really, was something else. I also want to thank you personally, because that was great. That was great. And that's, what I had a conversation with Rod Roddenberry about how Star Trek created my friendships in '74, and we were interracial, and that wasn't the issue. And he said he had never heard that before. And I say that because not so much about the magic of Star Trek, but the magic of this place.
Well, I think I do, and it's interesting because there was a discussion I had with somebody talking about female and diversity involvement in Comic-Con, and we've seen an increase in female attendance, but there's a thought out there, or people have talked about the first Comic-Con not having any women, and the only women who were there were those who were dragged along by their boyfriends or husbands. That really wasn't the case. And going through my personal fandom experience, it occurs to me that a lot of it was actually facilitated by women. I would say a good 4 or 5 members of my core group immediately were women, and we had maybe just a couple of men. But in addition to that, within this industry too, there were a lot of women. And I think the interesting thing about Comic-Con is our gender never really mattered.
Right.
Our size never really mattered. Our orientation never really mattered. Our religion or nationality never really mattered. We were this diverse group of people who enjoyed each other's company and learned from each other. And I think when you look at science fiction, fantasy, whatever it happens to be, it's so expansive that I think if you look at something like disability or ability, age, race, orientation, anything like that, gender, that's so limiting. There's so many other things to really focus on that I think it never occurred to us. I mean, it really, here it is, 40 some odd years later, and it occurred to me, wow, I got into fandom primarily because of the women in my life. So,
it's funny you mentioned that between that and what Roddenberry and I have talked about. There's a missing message there that I think needs to be cleaned up. I don't know how it gets done as a collective, but I think it's something, maybe a panel. Maybe I should start the panel.
That would be awesome. Because I think a lot
Note to me.
That's right. Well, no, because I think a lot of people don't realize that for us it was a non-issue, but that doesn't mean it's a non-issue. Right. I think the fact that people discuss it, people talk about it, means that it probably should be discussed. The truth of the matter is, I think certain elements of our diverse culture and all have been maligned, have been discounted, have not been allowed to partake in everything that the rest of us have been able to do. And just because you and I don't recognize those barriers doesn't mean those barriers don't exist. And maybe you and I need to do more to facilitate some of that
something
dialogue.
Definitely needs to be done on that one. Although I could talk about that for another hour or two, or you don't have that kind of time. The expansion, congratulations on the extension.
Thank you.
It seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, the extension will allow you to really be here when the expansion finally takes place.
Well, the mayor has really been committed to an expanded convention center. He has a task force right now, and we're not sure if that will be contiguous space, separate space, or how it will be funded. But he seems to be very, very determined to have it. In fact, he opened ComicCon the other day, and in his speech he said, make no mistake, an expansion will happen. It's just a matter of how. And we're heartened by that. That's great news. Until that time, we're still able to use outside space and hotel ballroom space, and they're great partners. They give a lot of that space to us for free, and that allows us to stay here, and we'll be here at least until 2018.
And on that note, I noticed Marriott, are they working on a new ballroom? Did I?
Well, right now the Marriott is. In fact, if you're in front of the Marriott, you'll see some construction. They're going to create a much bigger convention facility as well, so that should be great.
How many seats is that? Is that going to be almost halls each size? I looked at it, I thought,
I really don't know. It'll be a multi-function space, and I haven't really looked at any of the plans they have, but they're moving fast and furious on it, and I think it will be ready by 2016.
Hey, so where are we in terms of attendance here? And also, on WonderCon is going to be in LA just for the year, 1 year?
So attendance right now, we've capped our attendance, and we always count badges afterwards. So we expect, again, about 130,000 people. We'll have a better idea right after the show, but I don't expect it to be much over that. And then LA, yes, WonderCon will be in Los Angeles next year. I'm not sure if it's just for the year.
You kept that from me before. I was talking. I thought, oh, wait a minute.
I think there was an announcement coming out just beforehand, but to tell you the truth, there was contracts that need to be signed, and we don't like, even though things look 90% done. We never want to hedge our bets in that favor because anything can happen.
Right.
And the same was true for our extension in San Diego. We were down to the wire. I think we had a press conference on it on Thursday. And yet the contracts weren't officially signed until the Tuesday before.
But the mayor was ready to go, so you felt comfortable going ahead.
Well, we went ahead and signed the contract. So the mayor was very gracious in saying, you know what, you let us know what your timeline is, and we'll
nice.
Yeah, so it was very nice.
Faulconer sounds like a great mayor.
I got to tell you, he and some of the past mayors have been really, really instrumental in helping us deal with the space that we have.
Nice. Best show ever so far?
I think so. I haven't had a chance to see much of it, but, late at night I'm able to read, and from what I read, people are having an amazing time, and it seems like incredibly iconic, moving experiences that they have said will last a lifetime, whether it's the Joss Whedon presentation, whether it's Star Wars, whether it's, any number of things. John Lewis was here. I mean, I think there's just some stuff that is just
What did
remarkable.
John Lewis do here?
He has a graphic novel. So he had March, and I believe a sequel to that, and he conducted a mini march wearing the clothes that he wore similar to 1965, and how remarkable is that? I mean, it's just moving.
Wow. I want to thank you, sir.
Thank you as always. It isn't ComicCon without talking to you.
And I got to tell you, I believe I've set the record for YouTube uploads at ComicCon.
Really?
Oh my gosh. 142 somewhere in there.
Oh my gosh.
Since Wednesday,
well, good. Have you had a chance to experience this show, or are you spending all your time just uploading?
I use YouTube Capture.
Oh, great.
And YouTube Studio, so I upload as I go.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
Yeah, I have. There's no bag on me, as you can see.
Right.
It's gone really well.
Well, so I think maybe after the show, I'll take a little bit of a nap and then watch your videos.
Yeah, you got it. Thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
Okay, cool.